There was a long time where almost every comment I got on Instagram or YouTube was, when is Z-House coming back?
I know. Dude.
Like for years. And
you know what?
It just made me hurt even more. I'm like, dude,
I have to agree.
tried. This is a brand.
I agree with you.
This is not a zombies brand.
Yeah,
that was another major misconception I think was really messing with people's heads that
True.
shouldn't have.
Yes.
Everyone's like, oh, well, there's not a new zombie game coming out or zombies is not good. Who cares? Who freaking cares?
Fuck?
This is the beauty of the house. 5 of us together.
Yes.
We don't need to worry about the game anymore.
Yes.
When the game's hot, we'll tap into it. When the game's not even there, we're good.
That's what content houses do now, dude.
Why are we worrying about the leather Z?
know.
Like we weren't the zombies YouTube Call of Duty house. We were Z house. That can mean whatever you want it to mean.
Yeah.
It's a brand.
You've had so many different business ventures over the years. And you've just really been very good at, I think this is a massive, real skill that you've developed, is being able to just be like, I'm going to give this a go. I don't know if it's going to work out, but I'm not going to know until I freaking do it.
This is the CEO of Do It for the Plot, right?
Yeah, literally.
I guess
this
we
man,
put it like that.
Yeah.
Seriously, I think about it like Z-House would not have happened without you. 110%.
Probably
you
true.
need to know that. Like, I
Wouldn't
think,
have happened without any of us, really. But
I mean, but we needed.
I was definitely pushing for it.
We needed an organizational person.
Yeah, I'm glad we did.
Yeah.
Z house for sure.
I mean, it was for sure ahead of its time. For sure, a lot of fun.
It was one of the best things I think that has ever come out of the zombies community, to be honest. And they then did another Z House the following year. The first year, I think that you guys would probably
First
agree
year was the best year.
was the peak.
100%.
And I think objectively the views were the best by far. So
I also just think like
categories.
not even views, not even anything. We were all just so focused on one goal, I think, for the first year. Because even 1 year after that, we were all so separate in terms of what we wanted to do. Even 1 year after.
that and alcohol.
And alcohol. Back to alcohol.
So bringing it back to your beginning point there, it was definitely not a good thing for Z House
True.
in terms of like productivity and content.
But the thing is, though, is
But
like
we had a great time.
we had a great time.
We had a great time.
It was a lot of fun.
I'd say we had a great time both years, but
But dude, you know what? I was thinking about how like a big problem for like me or Pat or whatever was like just because we were in school. And I honestly look back at the 4 years I did and I got the degree and whatever. And I was like, wow, that just wasn't worth it. It's like genuinely like probably one of my biggest regrets. But I'm just like,
it's tough because
It's tough
I
'cause
was
you just
done.
don't know.
I had finished. So I was the
I
only one that knew what it was
know,
like to
dude.
go through all 4 of it
Yes.
and be done. And I was like, we got to try being
Yeah.
the longer Z House. I'm telling you guys, it's going to be worth it.
yeah, no, I
But
know.
at the same time, it's hard to be like, yeah, don't go to school. Don't go get your degree. Like, it's hard to say that to someone.
I mean, I still think we're living in the process of figuring out if it was worth it or not.
Yeah.
But I mean, we'll see.
What, having those experiences?
No, just in terms of like, because I feel like Z House 2, obviously, like you said, it was worse than 1, and it kind of just like fell apart just because, I mean, we just really didn't have any organization.
I think the 2 things that were problem with Z House 2 was alcohol and
True.
people were really starting to move in their own direction.
Very true.
And it made it hard to make, it's like, if I want to make a video, like a messy food challenge video, and you're focusing on gaming and Pat's streaming 4 hours a day.
True.
Chucky doesn't really care about any of that stuff because he's not really YouTubing much anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
Jack wanted to do much more music oriented type stuff. Like, it's hard for everyone to be like, yeah, I'm going to spend 2 hours of my time shooting this video that's got not a lot of relevance to the content I'm making.
100%. Yep.
But I think the thing that people forgot to remember is that the first year, the reason things were so good is because we all wanted to do each other's videos. And even though they were not necessarily zombie content every time,
Yep.
Sometimes
videos
those were
still-
the better ones.
those went nuts.
That's what I'm saying.
Those videos went nuts.
So in a way, you could even say that we kind of screwed ourselves over from year 1 just in terms of our marketing, you know, because maybe we could have marketed ourselves a little bit differently.
Maybe, but also at the same time, would it have even mattered? Like, you found so much success in the first year. If zombies literally stopped in 2016 and you did another Z House in 2017, I don't think that would have hurt it. Like, I think the less reliance on zombies at all points in our career would have maybe been beneficial had the thing that we were then focusing on otherwise, whether it was just group content that was generic or whether it was a different game or whatever, had that succeeded. But zombies was also a great sort of wave that all of us have rode over the years, right? And so it did give you a boost in that first year.
did.
It was a good way
Yeah.
to transition your audience to the fact that you were doing group content as well.
Yes, it absolutely did. I think our problem was we were too reliant on gaming and listening to people.
I think it almost wasn't even reliance. I don't
put
think
me
the
in
reliance
that
was
boat.
there.
No.
I think
Because I wasn't relying on that.
No, I agree. I think that's the problem. It's just our visions, like you said, were completely different.
You guys wanted to keep doing and it was working, right? You could do both. Like, but if you go back and look at the best videos, most viewed videos weren't zombie videos.
I know the like coming together ended very quickly after like a very short amount of time in all of those instances. And I think that's given all of us kind of quite a lot of perspective of what it means for something like this to give you that electricity and that energy and that drive, and then to just suddenly be gone.
True.
And it depresses me.
Yeah, I agree.
Like it actually makes me cry. Like it makes me so upset that we over the years have had so many opportunities to seize that moment and that energy and electricity and keep it and hold on to it.
Yep.
And because the various different folks in our groups have all gone their different ways in life, as we've been saying, people have made the choice that they don't want to hold on to that electricity. They want their own electricity elsewhere, which
Very
is
true.
which is
Very
fine.
true. No, that's a great way of putting it.
Jack wants to spark his music career in a totally different area to what any of us are doing.
Yep.
Justified, valid.
Yep.
But had Jack stuck around and been set on the vision, and had like the rest of us all the same way, had we all been like, the peak of what we can achieve here is a greater peak. It's a higher peak if we're working together. If we'd been on that mindset from early on, we would all be in such a different place right now that I would love so much more than where things have gone in a sort of spread out sense.
I think it's
personally.
just like you said, like for someone like Jack, it's a good thing in a way that he did what he did. But I know for sure, for me at least, definitely was not the right play. I think, at least looking back now, even though I still loved what I did and I'm forever grateful that it happened. And I think like we can still do more and do it maybe in another way or whatever. I mean, I do think that, I probably should have just been like, nah, this is electric. Like it is literally that electric feeling that you're just like, this is where I need to be, you know?
Yeah.
That's really what defines it.
This is a sore subject for me.
I know.
I'm going to be honest.
Matt,
It's funny because the last thing I remember about, this was the third year we were going to do it, right? We were deciding whether or not we were going to do it for the third summer.
So that's 2019?
2018.
I want to say
18.
Yeah.
Jack was down. Chucky, believe it or not, Chucky actually saw things the way I did. Like Z House could really be a brand.
Yeah.
It start to get like its own thing.
Yep.
Like we're having merch. Like we could really do this as like a thing.
Yeah. So he was in.
He was also in. It was you and Pat that weren't.
What? Wait,
Dude.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So when you say you regret it, it really hurts me because it's like, bro, I tried. I tried to make it happen.
Really, I think it was just like I said, like this is such a great reason as to why I'm out here now. Just because like I said, when I live in the echo chamber of my mom and like the rustic ways that she has been brought up, there are so many times I can pinpoint in my life where if I didn't listen to my mom and did something differently, I would have actually been so much better off, which
Happy Mother's Day, by the way.
Happy. Like, listen, I love my mom and I know she wants the best for me. It's just that like, obviously she just doesn't understand the landscape.
Yeah, it's a new world. It's a new world.
It's a whole different world.
Yeah, but I wasn't even really pushing for it to be, I wanted it to be more of a long-term thing. Like I wanted to try like a 6-month thing and see what happened in 6 months.
That would have been so sick.
Because even 3 months, right? Like some people would show up 2 weeks late and then some people had to like
but here's the other
come
thing.
over or go away or whatever.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a full 3 months.
Yeah.
But even then I was like, if you guys all have to do school still, let's just keep doing summers.
True.
And just keep it going. But I think the two things in my mind that there was a couple of things that I felt that you guys at the time didn't like. One, I felt like because you both had much bigger channels than me, Jack, and Chucky at the time, I felt like you thought that you were adding more value to the group because you brought more of an audience.
To be honest,
And I recognized that the whole time, like both years. And then I also think,
did you feel that
to
way?
be honest, listen, there's a reason why whenever I stream, I cover the viewer count. It's just because numbers is a disease. Analytics is a disease.
Did you at the time? Do you reckon you were like, I've got more viewers, I'm like carrying the weight here a bit?
Maybe less you, but I definitely felt like Pat felt that way.
Yeah, like I just listen, I didn't give a shit because what I loved was just the electric social feeling. And that is why, like, when I went back to university and basically stayed in my house for 4 years, basically just taking a degree, it was depressing.
So why'd you say no in 2018?
It's like I said, man, it's just the echo chamber of like, I need to do this, make my mom happy, and then come back. Yeah. So I think like, I mean, it's definitely a regret of mine. But the thing is like, I have a weird feeling though that, like I said, it's not the end.
Let's hope. Continue your point. I'm curious where you were going with. So you felt like they were carrying the weight of things.
Yeah,
or they were worried about
I feel like
that.
the two of the things that made your decision, school was one thing.
Yeah.
The fact that you guys are Canadian and had to come here was definitely a thing.
But dude, the thing I was about to say about that is Pat got a visa, bro. He got a visa for first.
Yeah, there wasn't really an
house.
excuse in that part.
For the
but
first
I did feel like
house,
Pat's
dude.
always had an issue with
the travel. Yeah.
To here, I know he's always hated it. Like,
True.
so much so that it made him not want to do it at all.
Yeah. Which is weird to me. I guess part of it, as unusual as this might sound, part of it might be because he's just taller than me. And so being on a flight when your knees are all cramped up like that, maybe it's more of a big deal. But I have the same journey as him.
I think it's a 3-flight trip to get here for him usually.
Oh, is it? There's multiple layers?
Small plane to get to like a big airport.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
All the way on his side of the country. And then he's got to take a connecting to get here.
Okay.
So it's a travel day for him for sure.
But it's like,
it's now only 2 flights, I think, but it used to be 3.
If it's a 24-hour flight to get somewhere, and then you're gonna have 3 months of the best career opportunity of your life.
Listen, I'm
But
not.
you don't
I'm
know
not,
that at the
I'm not
time,
contesting
though,
any
you
of these
know?
things.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you my thought process.
Yeah, no,
unfiltered.
I
don't think I've ever
agree.
told anyone the
Keep
full
going.
thing.
I need this.
Pat has always definitely had.
So that was partially it.
Yeah.
I don't think, and I forget who it was more so than others, but I don't think anyone really loved living in Hollywood. Myself included. I actually don't like Hollywood at all.
Yeah.
I mean,
The parking's annoying.
it's kind of funny because here I am.
he lives there. Whatever. I mean, that wasn't a huge factor. I felt like, so I felt like the numbers thing was part of it.
Yeah.
The fact that you're both from Canada made it a little harder. School was definitely part of it.
Because, I told you that.
And then I think the second year,
yeah.
I think people generally felt like you said it was worse, right? I think the consensus
still
was it
fucking
wasn't
loved it,
as good
though.
as the first one.
Yeah.
And that I think got in people's heads way more than it should have.
I
The
agree.
views weren't as good. The
I
content
agree.
was a little different because we were all in different places. And I think the alcohol thing is an underestimated thing that the viewers don't see, never knew.
Yeah.
When we wake up at 12 o'clock and everyone's slightly hungover after going to bed at 5 a.m., no one wants to film.
Remember
No one wants
seeing
to
the
film, and so
sunrise
everyone's like-
multiple times.
Dude, yeah, we watched the sunrise many nights. There were nights where we sat on the couch all drunk,
Multiple
talking like
times.
deep. We had really great combos. Like, I'll never forget
was great.
or
It
regret
was
those
great.
nights because
It
those were
was
great.
Yeah.
That's where we became like really good friends.
Yeah,
So
right.
for that part of things, that's why I said Second Tea House to me wasn't that bad because
Yeah.
we became really good friends and we had a really good time. But for the views and the content, it wasn't as good because we're all, we start shooting at 2 p.m. and we can get maybe 1 or 2 videos done because everyone's like kind of like groggy and like,
you guys
I
would
don't wanna
not
do anything.
This is the thing that, just to jump in here, you say like we could start shooting at 2 p.m. and get 1 or 2 videos done, but that was like once every 10 days.
That was what we could have done.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's not what actually happened.
Yeah, you basically didn't shoot.
Even if we got the video shot, it was a different energy.
Yeah.
Dude.
Because it was like, wait, like it's a chore. Because no one wants to do it.
That energy is what I feel even today trying to organize group stuff, and it makes me want to jump off the roof.
And here's the problem, dude, is because people only see what they're like, what you're trying to focus on right now, whatever it is you're trying to do. Yeah, everyone always asks, how does this relate to like what I'm trying to do? Does it benefit what I'm trying to do?
Yeah.
Which is a little selfish, but it's natural.
I mean,
like,
you always
have to
think
do that.
it,
You have to put
yeah.
yourself
You have to look
first.
out for yourself.
Yeah.
But I think what people failed to realize, especially then, was if Pat wants to stream zombies 4 hours a day and that's his thing, do it. You still have like 8 other hours in the day to do 1 or 2 videos with the other group.
yeah.
And all the viewers that see those 1 million view videos and you're in it and they like you, they're going to
go
come watch
to your
you.
shit.
They're going to come watch you, dude.
Yes. Yes.
Like even if you have smaller channels like mine, like me and Jack had smaller channels and the most viewed videos, I think a lot of them are ours.
Yeah.
Those brought in so many new people. So
definitely
many new
are.
viewers to the whole group.
Yep.
They were always
People
so
that
fun
loved
and
Chucky.
creative
People
to
that
record.
loved Chucky and would go watch Chucky because they freaking loved how he was in those videos. Like,
So a question.
that's a real thing.
True.
Do you think you and Jack have some of the bigger banger videos because
They appeal to more people.
but also you felt like you had more of an impulse and a need to make the sort of more exciting content because you were thinking about the fact that Lex and Pat were like, well, we're already big. We can just do our thing and it works for us. Whereas you were like, I need to do something special with all of us here so that I'm like pulling
that was
my
the
weight.
only thing I wanted to make there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think another thing though that like I want to clarify is that like a lot of the big ideas I think that we did were stuff that I would come up with other people with, and I just like I didn't give a shit whose channel it was on because I just loved the
I do
content
remember you being
so
like,
hard. It was like I just never cared because I was like, dude, as long as you're putting out your best content, which it quite literally was your best content, then yeah, it was totally fun. And I loved it. And it was so much fun. And like, dude, it's wild that even 5 years, 6 years almost later now, I still get recommended those videos.
Yeah.
Still. It's still in the recommended. It's
There was
unreal.
a long time where almost every comment I got on Instagram or YouTube was, when is Z-House coming back?
I know. Dude.
Like for years.
Yeah.
And
you know what?
It just made me hurt even more. I'm like, dude,
I have to
I
agree.
tried.
Yeah.
I really tried.
I do have to agree with you though on the one aspect of we looked at that portion of what people said of Z House 2 being worse than 1 way too hard. We microanalyzed
sure, it's
that
worse
way too
relatively,
hard.
but it was so much better
Because-
than anything else going on at the time.
Well, because look at what group houses are doing right now. They brand themselves. So it's not like just, oh, this part was bad or this part was good. It's just like, this is a brand, you know, it just happens. And it's like, you come to enjoy it or you don't. And that's the mindset that we needed to have low key. Like that was something that I think we absolutely missed out on. And we were just like, we got nervous and we were like, oh, because people are thinking it's worse, that like, is it just going to keep declining?
like, I really want to latch onto that electric energy that I felt in that first Z House. I came to the first Z House. I was going to be there for one night. And literally I woke up in the morning and was like, this was the most incredible thing. There's an energy in this house I've never experienced in my life before. And I extended a week and stayed a week because I needed to.
I don't think having a manager would have done anything.
For Z House?
Interesting. Why do you think that?
The week that you were there,
Z House 1, you're talking
yes, yes, one. The week you were there, you and I planned the shit out of that
about. We
week.
really did.
I remember.
And we got more done
Yeah.
that week than any other week in Z House ever.
Dude,
But I
it was the
remember
organizational.
I remember distinctly
Yeah.
that no one was happy about it. I don't think the manager would have helped
Okay.
because it wasn't a lack of trying to organize that was our issue. It was people were not willing to wake up at
just show up.
7 a.m.
Yeah.
or not even 7, like 9 or 10 a.m.
Yeah.
There's one video recorded that week I'll never forget. Pat had this like ridiculously profound statement in it, but we were all like half asleep. It was a very low energy video. It was like very philosophical and not energetic at all.
Yeah.
Wasn't a bad video, but it was just like we never recorded at earlier than 12.
True.
People weren't willing to wake up, right? People would stay up late and play or like play games or whatever. And like, we weren't regimented. And it's because we were fucking young.
Yeah.
True.
What were you, 18?
Dude.
Jack was 19 or
First
20.
Z House, I was 18. Like I
Like-
literally graduated the summer before.
The maturity level was not there. That's what I believe firmly.
Yeah.
And having a manager there would not have made sense.
I agree.
It's just where we were at. Like it was started as a content house. We were coming together, having fun, making cool videos. Like that's the vibe that made it good. If we started to make it like a business where it's like you have a video at 8, 10, 12, lunch break, like if it became a production,
Because that's more or
people
less.
would be miserable.
yeah, I agree.
It wouldn't be fun.
That's more or less what when I was there.
When you were there, we got a lot done.
Yeah.
True.
And there was a lot of good content.
'Cause I remember-
But I know I'll never forget,
Yeah.
people were not happy.
Yeah.
Pat was not happy. Chucky was like, people were
was
not happy. Like they were not like, they're like,
I was happy
Milo,
with you,
Milo
though.
was fun
I
to
was
have
so
here, but
glad
like
for your
I
organization.
hated that week.
True.
I hated it.
Really?
Yeah. Yes.
No one's ever said that to my face before.
No.
Well, I didn't want to say it at the time because I was like,
No, I listen, Milo,
Really?
yes,
I
straight up.
no, listen, Milo, I vividly remember each and every single one of them being like
Except for me.
except for I think me and
I
Matt.
was okay doing it.
Me and Matt were
but I
chill.
was getting a lot of flack. Like, yo,
Yeah.
like this is like this feels like a job now, and I'm like, dude, but we're making like we're pumping out content. Like this is what we're here for.
I know.
Like you're gonna look back and be like,
Isn't
yo,
that
I'm glad.
wild?
It's been 6 years. Not a single one of these motherfuckers said that to my face.
No, I actually forgot.
I'm letting it all go right now.
I forgot about it until you just brought it up because
These are the
actually
fuck,
man.
Every time Zios has
Yeah.
come up, these are all the things I think about.
That was like one of the best weeks of my life.
Me too.
No, and
And
okay.
these motherfuckers all there like secretly, this guy's
it,
fucking
it wasn't,
ruining
it
this.
wasn't the whole week though either.
No, it was just like in
it was
retrospect, it
towards
was
the
like,
end, I
man,
think.
like I really like the vibe of this. Let's just do things we want to do them as opposed to like mapping it out
Very
and having like a
true.
schedule.
Yeah.
God,
But
damn.
I was in the middle because I was like, I see your point and I see that the vibe was not there for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But the amount of stuff we got done that week
was more than
incredible.
probably one of the months.
Do we need? And I was like, we need to.
Yeah,
find,
it was literally a month. It was a month
yeah.
of content a week.
Yeah.
we need to figure out a happy medium between that week
Yeah.
and every other week.
Yeah.
Where we're doing more content together and making the time more worth it, but it feels organic and natural and people are excited about it and having fun doing it.
yeah.
It's got to be a happy medium, and that's very hard to do, especially when people are. The truth is, like you guys were. I was even younger. We were all way more mature.
True.
Right? That's 6 years ago.
Yeah.
6 years is a long time of maturity.
It's been a while.
So getting everyone to have that like mentality and understanding of like this is really valuable. Like what we have here is an amazing thing. Don't lose this moment.
Yeah.
Because we're in the good times.
Yeah.
You don't realize your good
Well,
times
that's the
until you're
thing.
out of them.
I feel like I got there, felt the electricity night one, and I actually, in a wild twist of fate, realized it was the good times. I was like, this is magic. I literally said at the time, I remember sitting on the couch with everyone, with my Google spreadsheet out, planning everything that we were going to do.
Yeah.
I'm talking to you about it as well. And I remember saying, like, and the reason I'm rebooking my flight is because there is an energy here that I've never experienced before. I'm not sure I'll ever experience it again, and I want to make the most of it. I want to just extract as much from this week in terms of life experience as I possibly can. And the fact that the others actually detested that.
Well, it wasn't detesting it.
It wasn't
was
a
just,
detest.
It was just the like.
It was towards the end when you were leaving and we had to really buckle up and just do up. Like there was like down to the minute we were doing some shit, you know, like for somebody else or for some shit. I think that's where people got upset. But I agree. Matt and I don't think we ever got upset because I was just like, dude, this is electric. And that's the thing. I agree with you. Like we needed someone more than just an organization, like a mentor or something, like somebody that
I'm telling you,
could
I don't think it
listen
would have
to all of
mattered.
us. And I agree. I don't know if that person exists.
Okay, so if you have that mentality, right, where you're
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't want to film, or like, oh, I'm being, like a little mature and being like a baby. I paid a bunch of money to be here and I don't want to
Right.
record now. Like, that's just immaturity. If you have
Right.
someone who's producing this thing that's like a professional, right, telling you, hey, you got to do this at 8 o'clock.
I don't know,
You think you're
though.
going to react well to that?
No.
No, but this is the thing. You're
Yeah.
looking at it as the producer would be a walking, talking Google sheet. But when I think Lex is saying like maybe we need a mentor, if we had someone to sit down, if there was a person that would be there,
Someone that we could all listen to.
someone and
you know?
someone that you felt listened to by,
Yes.
right,
Yeah.
and that you could speak to them and say, and they could say, okay, Jack, you're here for 2 more months. What do you want to get out of this? Like, what do you want from this? What makes you happy? How do you have the best possible day every single day?
Yeah.
Who are the people that have
Well,
these
no,
issues,
okay. Let me
You're not,
just-
you're not addressing the problem.
Let me just
here.
say,
you're trying
like-
to address like an overall issue that's
like,
not an
I
issue.
remember- I remember-
No, but
certain-
this is the issue though, because you wanted slightly more output and organizational stuff. I wanted even more than that potentially.
Yeah.
Let's just say for the sake of having a chart.
I would
here.
flow with either of you.
Lex maybe is in the middle.
Yeah.
Maybe let's say, I don't know. I don't remember at the time, but maybe Jack wanted to do less, although I don't think that was the case because Jack was doing a lot of group content. I remember that. He was like being in a lot of stuff.
Jack was also focused on his music ever since Z House.
That's true.
That
So
is
okay, so
also
let's say
true.
I don't remember, but let's say Pat was the least keen to be in other stuff. I don't think that was the case. I don't remember. I don't know. But let's just say if there was this big chart of people of wanting to do insane output, 8 a.m., 10 a.m., 12 a.m., like all those, that output level, and then other people being like, well, I want to, like Pat, I want to stream for 4 hours, and then twice a week I want to make a group video, for example. That's like his ideal. If that was verbalized and clear, and there was a person that was able to take in everyone's needs and collate those,
Yes.
and then execute that vision, so that everyone was like, "Oh, I look at the past week, and exactly what I asked to happen happened for me."
Yep.
Where would bad energy come from at that point?
That wasn't verbalized until years later.
No, and that's that.
God!
No, that is so true. Yeah.
When we didn't do the third year,
Yep.
and it seemed like it was more Pat not wanting to do it, and then you were like kind of on the fence.
Yeah.
It took me forever to figure out why he didn't want to do it. And it was like, the way he described it was, Z House to me was always, we all just live together, and like the energy that we get from living together helps us make better content, and we can like, whatever, do stuff whenever we want to.
Yeah.
And when he said that to me, I was like, oh, I never looked at it that way.
Yeah.
True.
I came to this thinking I'm paying $6,000 this year, which was a lot of money for me at the time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
To go and like
money.
go and like really try to make great content as a group, because we have the ability to do that and we don't have that normally. So let's like take advantage of that. And let's try to everyone gets to make content, and everyone's in everyone else's videos. So that's the benefit we're providing to each other.
You were looking at it as a group house. He was looking at it as a group of YouTubers in a house.
Yes.
It was like
Very similar.
that kind of difference.
Pat said that to me. I forget when. It was years. It was way after.
Planning House 3 when it was failing, I feel like.
Yeah. So I think it wasn't clear then, but it was like maybe shortly after that.
Yeah.
It became clear that that's what his vision was. And I never thought about it that way. So I was like, does everyone else think that's like what the initial vision was to begin with as well? And I know Chucky was on the same page as me. He was like, this is a brand.
I agree with you.
This is not a zombies brand.
Yeah,
that was another
true.
major misconception I think was really messing with people's heads that shouldn't have.
Yes.
Everyone's like, oh, well, there's not a new zombie game coming out, or zombies is not good. Who cares?
Who gives a
freaking cares?
fuck?
This is the
Who
beauty of the
gives a
house. 5 of us together.
Yes.
We don't need to worry about the game
Yes.
anymore. When the
Yes.
game's hot, we'll tap into it. When the game's not even there, we're good.
That's what content houses do right now, dude.
Why are we worrying about the leather
I
Z?
know.
Like, we weren't the zombies YouTube Call of Duty house. We were a Z house. That can mean whatever you want it to mean.
Yeah.
It's a brand. The branding itself had nothing to do with zombies.
He's spitting.
It's literally 4 colors and a house figure, and we couldn't rebrand it to whatever we wanted it to be.
Dude, yeah.
Like, we let stupid shit ruin a good thing.
I agree.
That's how I felt, and it's always bothered me, because it's like, how is no one else seeing this the way I'm seeing it? Like, this is a huge opportunity.
Yeah.
And it's not just me feeling like that. Like, look at the numbers.
Yeah.
No one's ever done better than that time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It isn't like we wasted an opportunity in my mind, and it's something that upsets me to this day.
Same.
I've gotten over it, obviously, but like, I think there was a lot of opportunity, and now looking back on all of it, I see why. Like, okay, so Pat didn't see it that way at all. From day one, he didn't see it that way. Yeah. And we kind of pushed it into something that that was my vision initially.
And so no wonder there's a little bit of sourness.
I was like, oh, well, no wonder
course.
he wasn't like, wanted to stream 4 hours a day and like maybe record every once in a while. And when we do have the week where we're planning out 4 videos a day and we're crushing it, he feels like this became a job or a chore, is because that's not what his intention was when he went there.
Well, and you know what's funny? In retrospect, that is literally what content houses are doing exactly right now. Instead of like some do videos, but I also noticed that a lot of content houses do shorts right now just to promote. And like, that's the craziest thing. It's like, it didn't even have to be like 4 hours. It could have been like 20 minutes.
That's what I did with JC last night.
Yeah. You could have done like 5 shorts, 20 minutes. You're done. That's all the content that'll gain you publicity. Do your streaming for 4 hours. You know?
And like the other thing was like there were videos, like I would do a couple videos with Jack. We did like Mad Libs, just me and him, because no one else wanted to do it.
Yeah,
and
I did
like
some with
a
Jack as
stream
well.
with him, higher, lower, like simple things, but still did really well. Like the content, great content. And I think, I just think everyone wasn't on the same page. There was some immaturity. There was some like clouded vision on the branding side of things, and like what it had to be or what it should be, and that didn't matter really that much in the grand scheme of things. So that was an excuse for why we didn't do it, or why we couldn't do it, or why we shouldn't do it.
True.
Which is all like, no.
If I were to change things, and if I knew the outcome of what had happened in the future, I think I would have gotten different people to have made a Z House, I think. Ooh. And that is not any...
This is another topic that we could dive into.
That is not any dissing to anyone that was a part of the house.
This is all how it is. Like,
but it's, I mean, literally, just quite literally, it didn't even matter. Like, it does matter about the personality, but what mattered the most is that now I know people like you or like Liam and that just have such incredible work ethic. And when you can get in that work ethic flow, you literally change your life. So, I mean, that is seriously, I think, if I were to have done things and if I were to have solidly known before we started the first Z House, what is your vision? Are you still going to be doing YouTube? Is this something you can really commit to? then I would have actually been like, okay, let's change some shit up.
The other thing is though, like even if we had a group like Z House and it became a brand,
Yep.
right? We sold merch.
Yep.
That's one thing we did as like a group that the group all split equally.
Yep.
And we could have furthered that initiative with its own channel and then just everyone is doing group content for the channel where everyone equally shares the channel.
Yep.
So then it makes a lot of sense from a, you know, revenue, business, growth standpoint.
Yep.
Could have done that. But I still, the other thing is like
Wait a second.
no one saw it that way. No one was thinking about
Why
that.
do I have a feeling, was it me and Pat that said no to that? Because I think you and Chucky were
Me and Chucky were very
Jack
much on
was
that
fine for
wavelength of like this, because Sidemen existed at this point.
Yeah,
It wasn't anywhere near what it is now.
of course.
But I was like, yo, this is a Sidemen. This is exactly what it is.
Well, and I remember people
and
were
we can
asking.
and we can start.
Yeah.
Here's the growth, right? Like we start to do merchandise. We start to do potentially like have brand deal and sponsors.
Yep.
We make our own channel that everyone shares equally, and that way, when we're doing group content, it's not like, oh, well, you have more subs and you're gonna get more value out of this, and my video is gonna take 4 hours, but yours is only gonna take 30 minutes. So like you got more value extracted from this. It's none of that. It's everything's on the channel. That's going to grow exponentially because of the group.
Yeah.
It's going to open up a bunch of other doors that can build the business, build revenue, and you can keep doing everything you're doing on your own. You can stream 4 hours a day. You can do whatever channels you want to do. Chucky had top 10, whatever at that point, right? Like everyone was doing their own things as well.
Yep, true.
Keep doing that stuff. Don't stop. Here's even more that's going to open up way more doors for you, and there might be some overlap at some point.
We just didn't think of it like that. That's
I
the
did.
problem. I know, but like,
but
and
no
that's
one
the
else
thing.
wanted to like give it a shot.
We didn't have a vision, and I think that's the thing. Really, I think for me, for sure, it's over reliance on other people, and I hate saying that because even a lot of that is like, with my mom and stuff, for sure. But I mean, it definitely makes me feel more independent coming out here and like really doing my own shit and enjoying my life and seeing how things go. But like I said, I don't think it's over. I think, yes, we've made terrible mistakes in the last 5-6 years. But I mean,
You got to wonder what would have happened
knows?
if we actually did do it.
I don't even want to think about it. Makes me
I agree.
sick.
I agree
I'm like
with Milo.
50-50 on it
I
now
agree
because
with Milo.
I didn't let that stop me going and getting farther in what I want to do.
No,
anyway.
you've done an incredibly
But I
good job
almost
of
feel like if we had done Z House, I'm fairly certain we would have made it work. I actually feel like that with anything. Like no matter what, if you just keep going, you can't fail. Reddit for You didn't work out, but
we could have kept
that
going.
was a stepping stone.
Yeah.
Like all of COVID, all the stuff I did during COVID went nowhere.
Yep.
I spent so much time on other channels that have literally, and I think I haven't even talked about them. They've gone nowhere.
Yeah.
Reddit for You, we did it for a while. We tried, didn't work out. Like I spent so much time on it,
I think it's,
but it was a stepping stone to like the next thing of where I'm at. And I don't like, you can't regret any of that. So even if Z House fizzled out at some point, it opens doors that we would have never known about until we did it.